Hi, readers. It's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper, and welcome to what is a colorful day for me. I have a colorful mug. I have a very colorful dress. I have a colorful stack of books to share with you as well. So I'm going to share today my August pile of possibilities as well as my August, I really need to read this list. So this is my TBR, but I have a really big pile of possibilities because I'm finding that I'm ready to mood read. So that's one thing. I'm also going on a no buy challenge. So I want to make sure I have lots of things that are interesting to me so that I don't get distracted by the things that are out in the bookstores in the month of August. And generally, I just wanted to get to a lot of these. Some of them I have on a planned list as well, but it's just a great pile. I'm really excited about this and I can't wait to share it with you. So let's talk about what I am committed to reading in this month. There's a few things that I have on my list that I really plan to get to very quickly. So one of them is a buddy read with my friend PJ. This is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This would count for a big book summer for sure. It's over 400 pages, 473 or 5, something like that. And I have been wanting to get to this for a while. I have watched a lot of videos about this book, so therefore I have just discovered that you need to sort of adjust your expectations of this one. There was a lot of expectation that this was a murder mystery thriller kind of thing, and it's maybe more women's fiction, literary fiction. We shall see, but I have no expectation except that I'm going to like it. I've talked about this before. August 7, 1975, someone goes missing. She's 13 years old. She's the daughter of a family that owns a summer camp, and this is not the first time that one of their children has disappeared. So that's really kind of all I want to know about this, and I look forward to reading this with PJ. She and I have a lot of very similar tastes. We're in a book club together, and it's just going to be great fun. It might be great in terms of size, but it is. I'm sure I'll just run right through it. I also need to read an arc this month because I didn't get to it yet. I started to read it, but it was so similar to the book I'm buddy reading currently with my friend Rosemary that I couldn't do both. And since Rosemary and I were already kicked off into reading Typewriter Beach by Meg Waite Clayton, if you're curious what we're reading, I decided to push Vivian Stone off a little bit, and I'll tell you what I've replaced her with in a second. But Vivian Stone and I will get together in August, and this was written by Melissa O'Connor, I think, and it is a kind of it's a historical fiction, and it's about a woman who has a grandmother who passed away, and she's going through her things, and she's discovering that some things happened that she never knew about. I think she discovers tapes, whereas the book I'm currently reading, they discover all kinds of things, and it's a grandfather that this girl has lost. So it's very, very similar, and it's like the same time frame. So I need to really keep those separate. And I have no doubt that I'll finish Vivian Stone fairly quickly in August because it's a Kindle read for me. Also, it's good. It's really, really good. There's nothing so far that I don't like about it. So to replace Vivian Stone, I'm going to read another arc, which is this one's got a long title. Let me not tell you the wrong thing. The Mysterious Case of the Missing Crime Writer. This is by Ragnar Jonasson, and this is an Icelandic noir arc that comes out in September. And so far, I haven't gotten very far in, but I'm really enjoying that. I enjoy all of his books so far. So this one follows Helgi, and he is investigating the disappearance of a woman who is an author. So it has already, I'll just say, just to kind of prep you for this, it has a lot of Agatha Christie vibe, and it has a lot of Agatha Christie reference, as well as a bookstore. So far, I'm really excited. And the author, of course, had written a bunch of books, and she reminded him of Agatha Christie. So he's going to try to investigate what happened to her. And did she die? I don't know. We shall see. That's my Kindle read for the moment. And then The Attic Child by Lola J. is a book that my book club is reading. And so I have started listening to that on Everand, and I have never read anything by this author, but I've heard of this book before. This is also historical fiction. And Lola J is really interesting to me because she's not only an author, but she's a psychotherapist. So The Attic Child is I don't know a lot about it except that there's a child in the attic, and I think there's two children in this connection, and there's other children currently, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody because I'm really not quite sure what's going to happen, but I'm excited and I need to get on that one quickly because I have started it a little bit, but I haven't gotten very far. But we have book club on the first Monday of every month, so I need to get on it. In the month of August, I'm also going to listen to Julie Tudor is Not a Psychopath. I have acquired this one on Hoopla, so I have 21 days to read that one as of the day I'm filming this, and I think I can get that done. Hopefully. I've been wanting to read this book for a bit. I marked it to read in May, I think, but also it's on my A to Z challenge. It will fulfill the J letter prompt, and so I am hoping that I can get to this. I think I set this up as a most anticipated read for me in May because it was so intriguing to me, but Julie Tudor's married to a guy, and I think he's younger than she is, and yes, and he's the love of her life. She's just infatuated with him completely, but he's falling in love with another woman, and this is not the first time that this has happened to Julie. So I don't know if she's going to kill this guy or not. I don't know if she killed the other guy or not, but I just want to get in there and see what happened. But the synopsis just says over and over again, but she's not a serial killer. She's not a psychopath. So we shall see if Julie Tudor is. Well, I will see anyway, but I'm really happy about that one too. So those are the ones that I'm likely going to prioritize and read in the month of August. Now, I have this giant pile of possibilities. So let's start there. I'm going to start with the backlist titles because those are the ones that I want to kind of focus on first because I'm trying to read my backlist. You saw how tall this was, right? So one of those I could get to is The End of Her by an author that I love, and I haven't read this one. I have a couple of hers that I still haven't read. This would be a quick read for me, and I can get this on Hoopla, I think, but I'm on a hold pattern, so it will be a little bit, but it is small print, but it's only, let's see, that's a synopsis of another book that's coming out, I think. And so this is 333 pages. Isn't that fun? So this one is about Stephanie and Patrick, who have twin girls. I've talked about this recently, I feel like. And Stephanie is struggling with sleep deprivation. I've just read a lot of books like this year, but she's just happy with everything. But then a woman from Patrick's past comes back to sort of haunt them, and she claims that Patrick's first wife's death was not an accident. So that would be a really nice mystery thriller for me to get to. Speaking of mysteries, but maybe a little more kind of cozy, I don't know, is The Marlowe Murder Club. I have not read this for a while. I've had it for a bit, so this would be a nice backlist title. I need to get rid of that. This came out in 2021, I think. Yeah, so it's been out for a bit. These ladies take death seriously. Robert Thorogood. Julie Potts is 77 and very happy, and she lives just outside of Marlowe. And she's on her own. She can do whatever she wants. No men in her life, no worries. But she witnesses a murder in the Thames River. And so the local police, she tells them what she saw happen, and they don't believe her. So she's going to try to solve this herself, but she's not going to do it alone. She's going to bring in Susie, a dog walker, and Bex, the wife of the vicar. And so together they are the Marlowe Murder Club. If you know me, you know that this is just up my street. So let's get out of the murder space for a minute and let's do a little bit of a fantasy. I've tried to bring in a number of genres for myself so I won't feel like I'm stuck in one place. I've had this for a bit. This is The Book Eaters by Sun Yi Dean, and it has been blurbed as something that B.E. Schwab devoured. It also has very small print. Came out in 2022, has been on my shelves for Probably since then, maybe not quite. I think I got it in 2023. I believe this one was one that my daughter read and handed to me after. But this is interesting. Yorkshire Moors, a line of people for whom books are food, and so they eat the books. And each genre has a different taste to it. So that just fascinates me. I don't read a lot of fantasy, but this one really sounds good. And when they misbehave, the children, they're forced to eat dry, musty pages from dictionaries. I know. So Devon is a part of a clan of old time book eaters, and she's been raised on fairy tales and cautionary stories. And Devon learns when her son is born with a rare and darker kind of hunger, not for books but for human minds. It sounds just fantastic. And I brought this forward, I know, at least once, maybe when I hauled it, because I just love this cover. My daughter enjoyed it. I think that that would be a fun fantasy for sure. So the next one is a little speculative as well. This is The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston or Poston. I never can remember. I think it's Poston. And I've never read anything by this author, but I've had this one for a bit. I've had it since 2023 or early 2024. So again, it would be a backlist read for me. A lot of these would really make me feel good about that. But I have not heard a lot of bad things about this book, but I have heard some people don't like some of her other novels. So I got this one because I felt like it was going to be good. And I think Krista recommended this in one of her reading events that I go to. But this is about a woman whose name is Clementine West, and she's a book editor. Yes, book publicist. And she's grown up with an aunt named Annalie, and her aunt lived in an apartment, and I think she kind of raised her. But Annalie passes away, and she leaves her apartment to Clementine. So she's moving into her new apartment and discovers there's a man in her apartment, and he has a southern drawl, and he loves lemon pies, and he's, I guess, pretty quirky, but he's kind. But she does discover that he's from the past. She quite literally lives 7 years in his future. But she does say in the synopsis that her aunt always told her that this apartment was like a pinch in time. So obviously she was not really ready for this, but now realizes that's what she meant. So I think it's going to be a love story. I'm not sure, but Emma Straub says it's romantic and irresistible. So pretty sure they're going to come together in some way. Let me get a little bit of coffee here. You may have needed a cup of coffee too, huh? Maria Semple. I've read a book or two by her. Today Will Be Different has been on my shelves for a bit. I loved Where Did You Go, Bernadette? I will always remember that as a book that I really enjoyed. This one I think also is backlist. It came out in 2016. So there you go. But this is a book set in one day, which I often appreciate those as well, and they're usually quick reads. So Eleanor Flood is going to shower and get dressed and play with her son and have sex with her husband, and she has this whole plan until the plan doesn't work out. So the next thing you know, Timby, her son, has decided to play sick. And so he's staying at home with her, and she discovers that Joe's been telling his receptionist that he's on vacation. So where is he? And what secret is he holding on to from her? And so she has an exploration of motherhood, of relationship, of what she really wants in her life and what would make a day great for her, and does she want to spend time with this particular guy probably in that day. I'm interested in this. It says it's deliciously mucky mayhem, hilarious and moving. I will say Where'd You Go, Bernadette was really funny. So if I need something light and funny after a bit of a darkness in some of these other books, I can get to that. All right. One of those self-destruct books is Summerwise by Beatrice Williams, and I would like to finish this one since I've had it for so long, and it is a self-destruct book. This is historical fiction. This came out in a long, long time ago, 2018. I got this marketing campaign copy, and I never did get to it. So I would like to do that as well. So Miranda Schuyler arrives on an island and she's still reeling from the loss of her dad in World War II. And her mother marries a new guy, and they live now in a summer house on Winthrop overlooking a lighthouse, which sounds lovely to me. But now she's in this whole space with a bunch of well-heeled, rich people who have their own, way of being and living in that space. And her new stepsister is engaged to someone, and she wants to bring her into the kind of this society that they live in, and just raise her awareness up to where she needs to be in order to live in this community. And I'm sure she's surprised by that, and it's very different, and maybe she resists. I don't know, but I can't wait to find out. I've always loved this cover. I've always been interested in this author. Maybe August is the time. So the first novel by Stacey Abrams that I'd like to read, because I have another one too, is While Justice Sleeps, and I have talked about this as well. This is set in Washington, D.C., and this is a Supreme Court Justice Howard Wynne, who has gone into a coma, and he has named this character, who is Avery. He has named Avery as his legal guardian, so she has to make decisions about his life and his finances and all those things. But then she discovers that there's maybe a reason why he's in a coma, and it wasn't maybe it was maybe intentional. So she's going to try to solve what happened to her boss and try to expose the people that may have been responsible for that happening. So I would love to get to this. A lot of you have said you love it. It's very well received by other authors and other readers that I've talked to. So yes, one of these days before the end of the year, hopefully. You picked this book for my nonfiction read, so I could read this in the month of August too and get ahead, so I'm not at the deadline at the end of September. This is nonfiction, Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder. I've talked about it before, but I would really like to find out what happened to these people in 1742. And yeah, it just sounds like, and people say it reads like a novel, so it's definitely one that I think I will devour. And then another historical fiction, Kate Atkinson, Shrines of Gaiety, has been on my shelves for a bit, and I love Kate Atkinson. Those of you who watch know that I do. 1926, recovering from the Great War in London, Soho clubs. The queen of the glittering world is Nellie Coker. And she, of course, is doing some things that she maybe shouldn't do during that time. And so this is a window into a vanished world. Funny, slyly funny, brilliantly observant, and ingeniously plotted, which Kate Atkinson is really, really great at. So I've had this one since it was released. I was very excited about it in 2022. It would be a backlist for me too. And I love Kate Atkinson. Life After Life is... Okay, then there are two Book of the Month Club books, even though The God of the Woods will count as my Book of the Month read for the month when I read it with PJ. I do have this one as a pile of possibilities because it's one that I want to read before the end of the year, and it does keep calling me as well. So The Names by Florence Knapp, I've mentioned it before. It is about what would happen if you named your child something different. Would they have a different life? And I think it would be fantastic, and it's not terribly long, so I could probably finish it pretty quickly. This came out in May of this year, and yes, please. And this one also came out this year, The Quiet Librarian by Alan Eskins. However, this is not a backlist either. This is new, and I do have a backlist of his, but this is a standalone, and that one is a series. So Hannah Bobbick, Minnesota librarian, talked about it recently. I think she has a past, and she is not... she's not disclosing anything to anyone, but then a friend of hers is found dead, and there is a trail that might lead to exposing Hannah. So they're possibly hunting her, and she is the quiet librarian, or has been quiet. So now we'll see what happens with her. So that is my pile of possibilities and my list of things that I'm going to read in the month of August for book club and other various things. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your plans are for August. I know we're all here on BookTube, but I'm sure you are too, thinking about, oh, what is it I'm going to read next month, and what's going to keep me, in suspense, or what's going to make me feel joy, or what's going to make it be funny and romantic. So there's lots of possibilities for you, and I hope that you will comment if you've read any of these too. And I know some of you have and are big fans of some of these authors. So I can't wait to see your comments in the comment box below. If you don't want to comment and you just want to leave an emoji, let's see, August. I mean, we've done suns, we've done drinks. Let's do something related to water, because August is one of the hottest months that where I live, and I'm sure we're going to need to cool off some way. So leave an emoji that reminds you of cooling off in some form or fashion. I think that would work. And then I'll know you were here. But I appreciate all of you so, so very much. And as always, happy reading. Bye.